Good day, Africa, and welcome to another edition of AAU Talks on AAU TV. AAU TV, the voice of higher education. Our topic for discussion this morning is contribution of pedagogical leadership training to higher education in Africa. My name is Irene Dufie Addai, and I'm going to be your host for today's discussion. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, I would introduce to you my guest for this discussion. Do stay tuned.
Are you an institution or individual? Do you intend to organize a memorable event to be archived for future reference? Then look no further than AAU Studios, because it's your best bet. With our spacious studio and state-of-the-art media equipment such as 4K Panasonic video cameras, KinoFlow lights, assorted microphones, live streaming machines, and others, you are sure to get the best of production. Visit us at Trinity Avenue, East Legon, adjacent the National Accreditation Board, or contact the AAU studio via the following addresses: info@aau.org, AAUTV@aau.org, Ransford@aau.org. Alternatively, you can call us on 0244 185 998 or 0244 693 342.
Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, this is AAU Talks on AAU TV. My guest for today's discussion is Madam Anita Nshakira, who is a lecturer at the Uganda Christian University and teaches social work and social administration. Thank you for joining us, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we know you are one of the facilitators for this program, but before we go on, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself, what you do, and then how you joined PEDAL?
Okay, thank you very much. My host for this day.
Yeah.
My name is Anita Nshakira. I am a senior lecturer at Uganda Christian University.
Yeah.
I have taught for 14 years at UCU, and I've been in the Department of Social Work and Social Administration under the Faculty of Social Sciences.
Right.
And I've been teaching a number of courses, sociology, all the sociology courses, Introduction to Sociology, Social Anthropology, and Social Institutions. And I've also been teaching contemporary social problems, NGOs and development, and also orienting the students to field work before they go into the field to do their internship. Yes, plus other duties. I'm also currently the coordinator for field work at faculty. Coordinator for quality assurance.
Oh, okay.
Yes, quality assurance coordinator, and I've done that for close to those years, probably about 10 years. I've been the coordinator for quality assurance. So that's what I also oversee at the faculty.
Right.
Yes.
So we know pedagogical leadership training.
Yeah.
How did you get to know about it, and how did you even get to be one of the facilitators in this section, this training?
All right. Now, since I'm the coordinator of quality assurance, I was linked up to our heads in the faculty, and we were informed that now we have an Entebbe training, which was early this year. And so, of course, being who I am and my level in the faculty, I was one of those who was picked on to go and attend the training in Entebbe. So we're a number of us actually from faculty, a really big number. So we started this training, and it was amazing. I connected so well with it because of knowing what quality assurance is about. It was all about enhancing teaching and learning, and this has been the core in my mind for long. So during the sessions, a colleague comes and taps me on the back and says, "We think you could be actually a resource person." So that was the beginning for me to be a resource person. And I'm really thankful for that opportunity.
Yeah. So you teach social work, and there are 6 modules on the PEDAL training sessions. Which of them do you teach, and how relevant do you think that topic would be in transforming education on the continent?
Yeah, given my background of sociology, I was picked and nominated to facilitate in the Education and Society module, which is under the Pedagogical Models and Strategies. Yeah, so that's where I'm focused in the Education and Society. And primarily here, what we try to communicate to the participants is the role of informal education in enhancing formal education. Many times now the informal education is about the socialization, that teaching, those things that we learn outside the school that impact the learning of the students. And here we look at, you know, analyzing the various agents of socialization, the family, the mass media, clubs and teams, religion, school. You know, there are a number of agents, and all these enhance teaching and learning. So this one, we try to look at that role of education in enhancing teaching and learning. Yeah.
So this course as it is, I wanted to know, how relevant is this for the training session? Because we know society plays a role, but you are the expert. You tell us, how relevant is this course to the models that are being taught here?
Yeah, education and society. Now, education is the big theme in PEDAL. Okay, and here all we are looking at is we want to find out, are the students learning? Are the professors teaching? And is there impact? Okay, that's the most important thing. It's not about standing in class in front of 1,000 students and the impact is just on 2 students out of 1,000. So, and this has helped because this module, what we are doing in PEDAL, what PEDAL is doing is changing, is shifting from the traditional, from the conservative way of teaching and coming up to the contemporary way of teaching, using various modules, using case studies, using simulations. So actually under pedagogical models and strategies, one of the things we are using is simulations and role plays. Yeah, and using this to teach, using this to communicate the same thing you would use to teach in 2 hours, standing lecturing. You use one role play, and it will probably even teach, communicate for about 3 lectures. Yeah, so we are changing that, we are shifting from the conservative way because the world is also changing. We are shifting to a more technology-enhanced world.
Then that even takes me to the next question. You have been a lecturer for so long. What has been your mode of teaching? Has it always been the traditional face-to-face, or do you blend with the online? What has it been, and what has been the capacity of students you teach, like maybe in a semester? And how do you think this training would be important for your teaching assignment?
Wonderful. Now, since I mentioned that I've taught for 14 years. Of course, the very first years that I taught, and because of my background, I was trained at Makerere University. And all I knew in my mind was a lecturer coming, standing for 2 hours, talking. If they're talking stories, they tell the stories and go out. So that's what I knew. Now, I started off with that. But along the way, with reading, with interaction with colleagues and all, I adopted new methods of teaching. And also, given the numbers, I adopted new methods like group discussions, videos, you know, because of technology. There are so many videos that go around. So you're teaching sociology, and here is a video on xenophobia in South Africa. Why not use it to be able to communicate the impact of apartheid on that community? So I use videos, I use group discussions, I use, of course, interactions, and yes, and of course, I haven't dropped the conservative lecturer of teaching, but continue with it and integrating all these within the teaching.
Since you've been integrating them, what has been the outcome? Has it been successful? Has it make your work more easier for you and interesting?
Amazingly. When I introduced group discussions, number one, the students are able to pick up the concepts much, much faster than when you stand in a class for 2 hours. when I use group discussions, I give them the topics to go and read, come back and discuss.
Right.
And it's amazing what the students do. It has not only taught them the concepts, but it has also built them up. Their capacity to be able to stand. Some students are too shy. They fear standing in front of others.
Exactly.
So it has given them confidence, built their esteem, given them, you know, they have changed. They change along the way when they learn to present, and they also learn to read on their own. You know, they drop that spoon feeding, which they have been using all along from primary school.
Exactly.
They drop it. And they say, now we have to go and read. And they read on their own, and they research and come up with amazing presentations.
Right.
So it changes them wholesomely. Yes.
Yeah, but what of the effect on you too? What has been the changes that you have also encountered?
Okay, the changes for me have been quickening the learning process.
Right.
I don't have to struggle so much to kind of push a concept. Like I'm teaching ethnocentrism, or I'm teaching about various types of families and the advantages and disadvantages they present. They are able to understand better when they go and read and come and present.
Right.
So I am able even to assess them much easier. Like now, the biggest number of students I teach per semester is 200. Okay. Now, when you teach 200 students and you give them group work, they do it in groups of 10, 10, 10. So when you assess them, the presentation mark is the same.
Right.
So you're going to spend less time assessing them also, because they have done it as a group.
Yeah.
So you probably give around the same mark.
Right.
So you reduce on how much you have to read.
Right.
And so it quickens the assessment process, and it's more effective.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll go for a short break, and when we'll come back, we'll continue our discussion of the contribution of pedagogical leadership in Africa. Please stay tuned.
Are you an institution or individual? You intend to organize a memorable event to be archived for future reference? Then look no further than AAU Studios, because it's your best bet. With our spacious studio and state-of-the-art media equipment such as 4K Panasonic video cameras, KinoFlow lights, assorted microphones, live streaming machines, and others, you are sure to get the best of production. Visit us at Trinity Avenue, East Legon, adjacent the National Accreditation Board, or contact the AAU studio via the following addresses: info@aau.org, AAUTV@aau.org, Ransford@aau.org. Alternatively, you can call us on 0244 185 998 or 0244 693 342.
Welcome back. In case you just tune in, I'm still here with Madam Anita Nshakira, who is a senior lecturer, Uganda Christian University, and we are talking about the pedal journey and its effect on the continent. In your trainings, you were talking about, changing curriculum, but rather improving on the curriculum and how it's being taught. Yeah. So, in effect, how has your curriculum development been since you started this pedal training in your institution? Like, how has it affected your institution?
Okay, thank you. Definitely, this pedal training has changed our way of not only teaching, but we have had to revise our course outlines.
Right.
Course outlines have always been, this archaic way of, just the formality, writing the books, the bibliography, and just listing down the topics.
Right.
But now we've had to think twice on what else we can integrate there. The pedal has been teaching about engendering curriculum. How are we integrating engendering? How are we integrating the role plays, the simulations, the case studies, emphasis on case studies? Because students tend to learn better with real life experiences. So we are integrating that and changing our way. And if we integrate these real life experiences, then we have to use the role plays and all. So we are changing the course outlines, but we are also changing our way of teaching.
Right.
Yes.
So this has been sessions that have been done across Africa, some countries in Africa, and we tend to train lecturers in this specific countries.
Yes.
How do we measure the impact? How do we measure the impact this training has had on the university and even the lecturers in terms of delivery and how they go about their teaching?
Right. Thank you. This actually goes back now to us, to our doctors, quality assurance coordinators and directors at university level, because this is our responsibility to follow up with our lecturers. For example, at UCU, what we are doing is we are continuing this process through monitoring. We usually have peer evaluations of the lecturers. We also have lecturer evaluations. The students evaluate the lecturers. And so we are now able to assess and find out, are they actually doing what they should do? Are they teaching the way they should do? Are they delivering? Are they providing the right content and all that? So as the QA office in the university, it's our mandate. And when we now think of sustaining that, it's actually the responsibility of the QA office that is going to ensure that we sustain that, because we have been trained. Now, like me, who's gone through, who is already a resource person here, I have a big role to play. I'm carrying a heavy burden of continuing and communicating this that I get from here back to the university, so that as many lecturers and professors engage with these pedagogical models and be able to infiltrate them in their different faculties.
So this is a funded project, and then you were talking about sustainability. And then we know that there would be a time where the funds will be normal. So how are we going to continue this project? How are we going to still continue the project without needing this funds?
And just as I've mentioned, we will have to continue to integrate it in the QA policy, the QA strategy, to be able to enhance teaching and learning. That's the mechanism we're going to use, and we're already using it, at least at faculty level. And the QA is going to be responsible. We have the QA office at the university level, then we have the QA secretariat at our faculty, on which I am the coordinator for that. And so it's my mandate to ensure that these pedagogical models are being enhanced in the faculty. Yes. And it should be sustainable then. We may not have so much money, but we are going to do as much as we can to work, because we are employees of the university. So we shall make sure that we continue to sustain it that way.
The main challenge for me has been that there are different facilitators from different institutions. And so at a point in time, you can't get all of them together for the training. Is it something the university should invest in so that maybe they can pool resources together for these facilitators to go around institutions, helping them? Or what do you suggest that universities should take on their shoulder to do to help improve teaching and learning?
Are you talking about universities getting facilitators to go outside their university? Same
facilitators that are here to other universities, because these are specific universities that are being trained. What about the others? How do we take this pedal training to them?
We were actually discussing it, and I think I applaud the pedal strategy of training as many facilitators as possible in different countries. So already Uganda, we have a number of trained facilitators. So I believe that these facilitators who are trained are going to go across the country and go to all the other universities. We were actually discussing that with a colleague yesterday, and we're saying, it makes sense, so that now those of us who are trained in Uganda go around Uganda and do that work. But probably the question will be, will it still be PEDO facilitating that, or it will be our respective universities? Probably that is something to explore and find out how that is going to work. Because already Kenya, we've already got a number of resource persons. So we believe that that will be sustained because they will go around and finish the work that has begun.
Okay. So my last question would be, the models that you have been teaching, these are new. These are the new models you have been teaching.
Yes.
What has been some of the challenges implementing it in your institutions?
Okay. Thank you. Indeed, they've been new, and I think one of the challenges has been the technology.
Right.
Even here, facilitating here in the training that we've just completed, you have a laptop and it can't connect to the HDMI, and you need another cable, and the cable is not here, and you have to run down, look for a cable. You know, that has been a very, very big challenge. And if we take it to university, that is also a challenge, but the challenge at university level is the internet consistency and power, strength to be able to ensure that students can be able to use the e-learning and be able to carry on the work and use Moodle. Because you see, if all these students have to use internet, it has to be very strong. It has to be consistent. So that has also been a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, naturally, people are resistant to change.
Right.
You know, theory X, McGregor theory X, says people are resistant to change.
Of course.
You're used to your notes, carrying your notes to class. And here they are now saying, no, 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 use a case study.
Right.
Use a role play, use simulation. And you're saying, give me a break. And we've actually been seeing it in the training. Some facilitators, you tell them simulation, they say, but madam, I will not have time to be able to plan for
that. Yeah, because
simulation.
my time is limited.
Because my time is limited. I have only 2 hours. So there's that resistance to change. But I think with time and with the will and with the determination, we will see change in our institutions.
All right.
Yeah.
So far, how has been the journey?
The pedo journey?
Yeah.
Amazing journey. From the time I started, from the time I did the training early this year, it was in February, I think, Entebbe, it has not left me the same. Whenever I go in class to interact with my students, I'm always thinking, what can I use? What can I use to be able to communicate this lecture?
Right.
Apart from standing in class and teaching.
Right.
So I now go back to pedo and then say, okay, here I will use a role play. Right. Or I'll use a video. Or I'll not need to lecture. I'm just going to give them questions. They come and present. So it has changed my way completely of looking at things. And also I'm able to communicate with my colleagues. And when the evaluations come and we look at them, then we're able to know where are the gaps. And then you call your colleague and say, but can't you do this? Can't you use this? You went for the pedo training. Right. Yeah, so it has changed, you know, the whole atmosphere. It has changed me. And of course, because I'm changed, then I'm now also trying to change my colleagues. But my colleagues attended the training, so many of them are aware of this change in teaching. Yeah.
So do you think this change would help improve our education on the continent?
Definitely. This change is definitely going to improve our education. For example, these kids, the university students these days, get bored with just you projecting slides for 2 hours. Right. They get so bored. They are used to their phones and all. So you're busy projecting and the guy is on his phone. Right. So if we change the method and say, now this guy, instead of going on his phone, let him come and be part of a role play here. Right. He's going to learn. He's going to participate. He's going to be part of the whole learning process. Right. It's not just going to be the teacher standing there, but it's going to involve the whole class. All right. And it's going to be a change.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been a very great interview with you.
Pleasure. All right. Thank you very much for hosting me.
Yeah. Yes. This has been AAU Talks on AAU TV. My name is Irene Dufie Addai, and I have been your host. Stay tuned and keep watching AAU TV.